this is William Tincup and Ryan Leary, and you are listening to the Use Case Podcast. We are broadcasting live from Cornerstone Connect in Orlando, Florida. We got Kyle on today, co-founder or founder?
Co-founder, yep.
Of Tailspin, an acquisition of Cornerstone. Ryan and I actually reported on the acquisition, but yet had no idea of the real impact of Tailspin until yesterday. So tell us a little bit about talk to us about Tailspin, and then talk to us about kind of what you're doing with Cornerstone.
Okay, so let's see. We started Tailspin about 8 years ago, and it was on the premise of just the accelerating curve of work and the fact that we needed a different modality to come in and try to help offset some of that. So the premise was, if this immersive learning thing works, maybe we can get more comfortable with the pace of change because we're going to have better tools to keep up.
Right.
The first 3 years were, just chopping through the myths and the challenges. Then we started to really settle into the idea of conversational simulation. So large language models now that everybody knows about. We said that's one of the things that's going to be a tremendous unlock to so many aspects of not just our technology, but also this entire broader conversation.
Right.
And so we anchored to that. And so we got known for soft skills simulation, but behind the scenes it was a much bigger thing going on in terms of how we were thinking about what we're building, how it plugs into the broader learning ecosystem, and then really the job to be done was at this kind of workforce readiness gap level.
Back then, were you mostly post-hire, or did you ever get tempted to do pre-hire stuff?
Get asked a lot, but the issue was always headsets at the time, because we very specifically we very specifically focused on leading in with the immersive, so that way we had a reason to be called versus just another e-learning solution. So we really led with immersion,
right?
And of course, for pre-hire, most of those employees at that time, and even today, didn't have headsets.
Right.
But the use case is killer.
In the headsets, the technology has changed in the headsets. Like the ones we used yesterday, those are completely different than some of the headsets I've used in the past.
Yeah, we've come a very long way.
The ones yesterday were ridiculous.
Oh, they were awesome.
And you guys probably didn't even see the pass-through mode, just depending on the demo you did.
Not sure.
No.
Yeah, because pass-through is basically as if you just have glasses on, right? So you're just seeing the real world, and the content's being overlaid on the real world.
Oh no, exactly.
Yeah. So that's kind of where this is all going. So when you think about what Apple's doing with calling it spatial computing,
right,
or that kind of pass-through mode,
so you could do multiple things.
Yeah.
All at the same, kind of more Minority Report-ish.
Exactly. Yeah. And I work like that all the time. I probably work like that 10 to 20 hours a week. In the headset, where I'm using it as.
Are your glasses doing that now?
I
kind of feel like
not yet.
He's sending an email as he's talking to us right now. Sorry,
not quite yet.
Don't worry, when I'm done with this stupid ass podcast, I'll be there.
That's funny.
Not these ones, but I do have the other ones in the bag.
That is funny. So, Cornerstone knocks on the door, says, "Hey, we love what you're doing." That's always how these conversations go, right? And I believe y'all had a partnership, or you were in their marketplace and doing well, and then they just said, build by. We could build it. It would take a decade. We're going to fail, and so why not take our relationship to the next level?
It was, similar journey, but they actually led our Series B round.
Oh, cool.
So that was in 2019.
Yeah.
And so, and it was right as we had really started to lock in on the conversational use case. We've been about a year down that road. I showed Adam Miller at the time that we were headquartered in Los Angeles, and so we were down the block.
Santa Monica, yeah.
And so that started a big commercial partnership and the investment. And then through the several corporate events that happened on Cornerstone side afterwards, there was a period there in the middle where we were just like, okay, we just have to do our own thing.
Right.
And so as Himanshu got the new management team in place and started to get this vision that we've now seen cemented, that was like, okay, now it's time. we gotta, where's that relationship? Are we ready? Are they ready?
Right.
And so then that just, it played out in March, where it just made sense to come together.
Oh, that's fantastic.
So we didn't get into, we normally don't here, but I think I want to. How did you get into Tailspin? Like, where did Tailspin come from?
Okay.
Do we need a drink for this one?
No. Minority Report.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I spent about 15 years in media entertainment prior.
Yeah.
And the consistent thread there was I was always working at the intersection of new workflows, new distribution paradigms, new technology, new content formats. And that was from 2000 till basically 2015. And so on that journey, towards the end, actually after it was probably about 2010, after the first Avatar.
Right.
There was a bunch of technology that came out of that film that came back into the industry, and people were starting to think about, okay, well, how do we commercialize this more
Right.
broadly? And this is a trend. This happens, fairly regularly because we, people break crazy ground on something like that, and then it trickles into a broader discussion. So, so if you know much about that, it was basically mixed reality.
Right.
What they were doing is,
Right.
when they were making that film. Through the camera, they saw Pandora and they
Right.
saw the characters. Obviously, that's not what was happening on the stage.
That's right.
Right.
And so it was that bringing all that technology together, which
I
then
didn't realize.
Oh, yeah.
yeah,
So when they were filming it, the cinematographers were seeing
Pandora.
what it really
It's like
looks
augmented reality.
yeah, it's
That's
basically
badass.
and if you they were using obviously a very different technology, but it's a
right.
combination of computer vision and what we call SLAM, which is what's positional mapping, and so this is all the stuff that these devices are now doing in one right there. Like a lot of the same types of stuff. So, so after that, I started spending a ton of time in machine learning, AI, computer vision startups and meetups up in the Bay Area. It was these were like small basement meetups at this point.
Yeah.
And I just started to have this bigger realization, like this is way bigger than this little use cases that I'm looking at. Started seeing people using similar technologies for autonomous driving and a lot of automation. So I just had this realization about 2013, which is like we're within a decade of work completely changing.
Right.
And so I started getting real passionate and curious about saying, like, where's their think tanks? Where are there people working on these problems? What's the other side of this look like? And wasn't finding a lot at that point in time.
Nope.
So the curiosity turned into anxiety for about 2 years, and then
I just went down the wrong path.
yeah.
You start questioning all your
Ignorance is
decisions.
bliss.
Yeah.
And then Facebook bought Oculus.
Sorry.
Right.
And
you went back.
and started getting pulled into all of those discussions.
Boy, they bought them cheap too.
Yeah, in hindsight.
And in hindsight, at the time, people were like, "My God,
Yeah.
that's huge!" Like WhatsApp, they paid
Yeah.
what 19 million for, or 19
No,
billion,
billion.
excuse me, for WhatsApp. Everyone questioned it. It's like now,
Smartest buy ever, right?
100% Instagram. Yeah.
So as I was getting more exposed to VR at that point, I went, oh, well, this is an interesting element to bring to this other anxiety-ridden place of
Right.
what's the future of learning and work going to look like. And so decided to start Tailspin in 2015 to work on that. And the mindset was, this is probably going to take 10 years to figure out.
Right.
And we're going to start with just 3 years of experimentation. And that's what we did
Oh, that's fantastic.
until we kind of had a strong thesis. And
What made you move into work learning? What triggered that for you?
I've always been a infinitely curious, go down rabbit holes, type of person. And so
You're just curious.
Once I got on this what now we're calling workforce readiness gap, or just the future of
never
work,
got off.
I was like, okay, this is what I'm working on now. Until we figure out, what the other side of this looks like, this is what we're working on.
And it's a deep enough problem.
Oh,
Yeah.
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 Turns
We're-
out.
we're- Yeah, turns out.
Turns out it worked.
Yeah.
It's not gonna get solved overnight.
Be careful what you ask for.
Yeah. Good point. So, all right. So now Cornerstone and what you're doing with Tailspin and how you're helping customers, again, with a different modality, a different way of looking at learning. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, I think the realization, which was some of what I was sharing yesterday, right, was at some point you start to see the skills that are going to be in focus. What's uniquely human? What are we going to, kind of what are the skills that are increasing in value in this overall transformation?
Right.
And you see that's an agile mindset or systems thinking, communication skills, a lot of things that are on every one of those top 10 lists now. You go, these are not things that you change by watching a video. Right?
No, they're experiential.
Experiential.
Yeah.
And so that was the aha. Okay, that's the surface area we have to work on. And so we think of it as like that's a true painkiller problem. If companies actually care about affecting those skills, which
Right.
if you think of the domino effect of those skills in this environment, it's like the ROI equation on that is ridiculous.
Right.
Right. You have one strong systems thinker, agile leader that can communicate well and understands their own biases and weaknesses, like game over, right? Just one, let alone that becomes a standard in your organization for how people work together. So that's the problem. This experiential medium is actually up to that challenge, and now we have to build a system that allows for these simulations to be created by anybody easily, solve the distribution problem.
Right.
Going back to entertainment technology. I mean,
Right.
I lived this problem with video on demand
Yep.
before. Just the distribution paradigms and getting systems to speak elegantly and remove all the friction.
Right.
Like that's half the battle.
Right. That gets the adoption, or gets to the adoption curve, right?
Yeah.
So what's the biggest barrier that y'all are trying to solve for now? Now that you're at this place and you got the backing of a
Yeah.
huge company and all that 7,000 customers and whatever it
Yeah.
is, what's keeping you up at night now as it relates to what you want to do next?
I think there's a short window here where people think about VR and probably don't even recognize that like VR and like we were saying earlier, pass through and mixed reality, like they don't quite understand this continuum. And the last time a lot of people, especially in enterprise, interfaced with it was now 3 years ago.
Right.
Right. And
Right.
so their mindset is locked to, I tried it. It kind of,
I sliced fruit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. It was cool. And it was introduced as a gaming paradigm,
Yeah.
The way
You've
that
got
introduced
it.
it.
I had a sword.
Yeah, and it was funny because I was going to ask, like, is the messaging already done? The education done for you, and now you just need to go and sell the hell out of it.
No.
But what you're saying is, which, I mean, probably up until yesterday, that was me.
Yeah.
I was kind of like,
Oh, I think it was a lot of people.
I've been there.
Yeah.
Yeah. I tried that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I played sword fight and all. Like, I did all that.
Yeah.
This was very different.
Yeah.
This was very different.
Well, you can see simulations. You can see work simulations to where it's like, okay, listen, we can talk to you about it. You're going to watch a video about it. Why don't you just go do it?
Yeah.
And actually in an environment that's safe. And go do it.
And that's still thinking of it as a like when you start thinking about that in the line of work. So when I work, like I was saying, I work in the headset, probably 10 to 20 hours a week.
Now the headset like that we used yesterday.
Yeah, either that one or the Vision Pro, Apple Vision Pro.
Okay.
Because you can tether your laptop and you can use it, and you kind of have infinite screens.
Right.
And there's a whole bunch of other things, and so when you start to take away the constraints of like, the 2D laptop,
Right.
the 2D computing surface,
Yes.
and start working that way, you start to go, oh, okay.
We need to
I-
get two of these. We need to figure this out.
Well, they're $4,000 a piece, right?
Yeah, the
So-
Vision Pros. Vision Pro is a commitment.
You mean they're not giving them out at the event today?
No.
Not quite yet. I couldn't get that budget.
I think you should.
Yeah, no way, no. Okay, so where do you see? Because you eloquently kind of talked. Because one of the analysts asked, okay, where are we with consumption? Where are we kind of mass marketing? Where are we to where we get mainstream, et cetera? And you answered it in a way that basically said, okay, to the enterprise, we're probably closer to the enterprise, I think 18 months.
Right.
Mainstream, it's probably another generation or two past that.
Yeah.
If I remember that correctly.
Yeah, I think it goes back to in the enterprise, once people have the aha moment of this is a painkiller,
Right.
like I can really see this changing some of the things that I actually don't know how to solve otherwise.
Right.
You know, the price point now is totally affordable.
Oh,
You know,
yeah.
a headset for $200 or $300
Yeah.
is not a blocker.
No.
And the deployment and all the other things that go along with that are also now solved, like the software layers that go along with that. So in the enterprise, we're now having conversations that are broad,
Right.
and you know we still do kind of this you know fallback to desktop approach. So
Right.
we're trying to remove the barriers to say just start investing in this direction,
Right.
right?
Start here, go
Yeah,
on there.
yeah. And so we see deployments, you know, like, you know, we found that basically deployments over about 2,000 learners, they'd start to take a much more hybrid approach to
Right.
desktop for
Comfort
one population user.
Comfort level.
Yeah.
This is what I'm comfortable with right now.
Yeah.
Don't ship me a headset yet. But once they get into it,
Yeah,
then they're going to get into it. And it's like, let me get a headset. And then it's like the world opens up to them.
yeah. And then it's just how quick can we create?
Right.
Because we need 20 of these
Right.
sims. We need 20. You know, the use cases are so wide.
What's the ideal company for you guys? So for this, what type of company is picking this up right now? I mean, are we talking? Let me clarify. Are we talking, you know, like super progressive tech companies, or is this the healthcare company that's in Topeka?
I mean, first of all, it's all sizes of companies.
Right.
It's actually even easier in smaller companies, of course, because you know you don't have the logistics,
Right.
aren't near as complicated. But we see it's really interesting because we're 10 weeks into the acquisition. The conversations I was having 10 weeks ago and those customer profiles
Yeah.
versus now we've been on this Connect Live tour. It's interesting because what happened is there's a lot of people that were interested but waiting
Right.
for a Cornerstone or somebody to do something.
Somebody put their toe in the water.
Yeah, they wanted a safer bet. You know,
100%.
I mean,
They don't trust you; they
Yeah.
trust it. Cornerstone.
yeah, Tailspin was
Fair.
a cool startup that
Yeah.
could have evaporated right in the middle of their,
Yeah.
their go,
Right.
and they were afraid of that. And enterprise buyers, legitimate. That's a legitimate fear,
Absolutely.
right?
Yep.
Especially in this market where things are moving so quick in the startup space, and so now here it's been, I would say, a lot of people that have been waiting on the sidelines that are like,
Fishing in a barrel.
yep,
It
yep.
just the modality alone gives them another option, and maybe even with a younger generation,
Right.
to then say, hey, listen, you can actually do this. This is going to be fun,
Yep.
and you're going to learn, and it's not your grandfather's way of learning.
The one that that always surprised me, and it's been the same here, is middle career women
Okay.
in leadership, especially in leadership positions. They're the ones that go, where has this been my whole career? Because they're the ones, if you think about the career trajectory they've had,
Right.
they've faced every bias.
Oh yeah.
They
Yeah.
had every kind
100%.
of crappy manager or
Oh,
whatever.
yeah. Oh, yeah.
Many of them did, and so they see it immediately and go, "This is so powerful," which I, of course, would never have
Yeah.
assumed. Like I
would
didn't live that journey.
Yeah.
Like I wouldn't have gone there first. But it's just that audience, I'd say, is the most enthusiastic about it.
Yeah.
Which again, you wouldn't like.
I would have lost that bet.
Yeah.
I would have lost
Yeah.
that bet.
I'm still
Yeah.
trying to put it together.
I would have lost that bet.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just cool.
But it makes a lot of sense when you.
Oh yeah. Now that you've
deconstruct
explained it.
Yeah.
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 Well, Kyle,
took
this
me a while to
is-
figure out exactly why that reaction kept happening. And then someone finally sat me down and said, "You don't understand what our careers have been like."
Yeah. This has been fantastic.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for
Thank you,
carving
guys.
out time. I know you're crazy busy with everything that's going on.
This is great.
Thanks for coming on the show.
Appreciate you guys having me.